Ready for the afternoon session. I would just like to, before I start the afternoon session, is again extend. Oh, there's howling wind coming through there. It's nice and cool. I can hear it. I'd just like to again thank the National Museum of the Royal Navy for allowing us to use this room today and for giving it to us free of charge as part of their sponsorship for CSI Portsmouth and their support. So I'm very grateful to them. And I know some of you have already been downstairs and had a look around the museum exhibits. And when we finish today, the museum closes at 5, so you've still got a chance to do that. I'd also again like to thank our sponsor, Bello, part of the publisher Pan Macmillan, which brings lost classics back to life, and some, as I said this morning, some great classic crime novels, not only from the golden age of crime, but also modern crime writers like Anne Cleese, Natasha, who's with us this afternoon, and the late and sadly lamented very great Robert Barnard as well. So thanks to Portsmouth City Library Service for helping me to organise the event with the Hayling Island Bookshop, and a big thank you to Hampshire Police for giving us their experts and for contributing to all of the CSI Portsmouth right from the very beginning. They are very, very supportive of this kind of event, and I do value their contributions greatly for that and for the research help that they give me in my crime novels. Have you all taken the time to see the wonderful exhibits we have here? Yeah? Fingerprints? All had your fingerprint taken? Good, right. You'll all be tagged as you go out, obviously, at the end of the day. We know. Yeah, we don't do email and newsletters. We search by fingerprint. So once we know you've been here, you won't get away without coming again. So we'll send the heavies round. So the fingerprint team, who again have been with us right from the beginning on CSI, Heather and Emma, who are fantastic. South Downs College, who come here every year with Victor. Is he still dead? Yes, right, he's still dead. Yeah, okay. Worked out how he was killed yet? Anybody? No. Candlestick or something. And also Portsmouth University, the Institute of Criminal Justice Studies, fantastic department there, world-renowned department actually, and to Paul Smith, who's been on our panel before in the past. He's a very good panel guest. He's very funny, actually. Yeah, he's a very funny man. Not it, but he is. So if you feel like looking at maggots and flies, then they're your guides today. We were there. So thank you for that, for coming along today. So that's my thanks. So what I'm going to do now is get down to our afternoon panel. We had, I think you'll agree, a really good morning this morning, didn't we? With some fascinating information, not only from Kerry about his crime novels, but also from our drugs experts. And we've got a slightly different theme this afternoon. Well, that's the theory, but it might not work out that way. So I'm just going to introduce our panel to you and just read out a little bit about them. And I'll start with Natasha here. Now, Natasha is a crime writer, and she divides her time between London and the Sunset Levels. She's come down from London today. She worked in publishing for 10 years before leaving to write her first novel. Not quite sure whether that was a good move or not, but yeah, it was definitely a good move. Right, her first crime novel. Prolific writer. After 6 historical novels were published under another name, she found her natural home in crime. First with the light-hearted Willow King series, then with the Trish Maguire novels. All the Willow King novels and many of the Trish Maguire series are available as ebooks and print on demand from Bello. Natasha also reviews for the Times Literary Supplement and the Toronto Globe and Mail. Since completing the Trish Maguire series, she's written 4 novels featuring forensic psychologist Karen Taylor. So I know some of you like forensic psychologists because we've had one on the panel before. So forensic psychologist Karen Taylor. Next to her is S.J. Bolton, as you might know her, but her real name's Sharon. Yes. Sharon. Now Sharon grew up in a cotton mill town in Lancashire and had an eclectic early career, which she is now rather embarrassed about. So I don't know what that is. So if anybody would like to ask her a question at the end, she might not reveal it. She's probably a pole dancer or something like that, I expect.
Amongst other things.
Amongst other things, yeah, right. All good stuff for crime novels. Well, she gave it all up to become a mother and a writer. Now, her books have been on the bestseller lists and have been shortlisted for several international awards, including the CWA Gold Dagger, the Figston's Old Peculiar Prize for Crime Novel of the Year, the International Thriller Writers' Best First Novel Award, and 5 years running the Mary Higgins Clark Award for Best Thriller. Phew. She has twice been nominated for the Dagger and the Library Award, and her latest book, Like This Forever, was published in April 2013. And her debut novel, Sacrifice, is in the process of being made into a Hollywood film. So that is fantastic. And I believe is it directed by Charles Dance or starring Charles Dance?
Charles Dance is one of the lead actors.
He's one of the lead actors, so look out for that, fingers crossed, yeah. Sharon lives with her family in the Chiltern Hills, not far from Oxford, so a warm welcome to you today, Sharon. Now, over to our experts. Now, you might recognise the burly guy sitting there in a police shirt. Now, I think he's a police officer. I think we can deduce that. Yes? Is that true? Right, just. So,
he's a clothes answer.
That's Brian in the end, yeah. So this is Sergeant Tony Burr, and he's from Hampshire Constabulary Marine Unit. And you might have seen 2 of his colleagues with him today in their police uniform as well, because they've come by boat, obviously, and moored up somewhere outside here. Yeah, so they've come by boat. Now, the Solent is a major shipping route for passengers, freight and military vessels, and it makes this area here one of the busiest in Europe, if not the world. It's an important area also for recreational sport, as you know, particularly yachting. Now, Tony is the officer in charge of the Hampshire Police Marine Unit. Their work includes counter-terrorism patrols, reduction and detection of marine crime, investigation of marine incidents and policing large events. Now, in addition, they work with agencies such as UK Border Force, Coast Guard and Harbour authorities, and responsibility for countering serious and organised crime. Now, working with Tony, I've got here 9 PCs plus 3 special constables, policing with 2 launches and 2 ribs, covering Hampshire and the Isle of Wight up to 12 miles offshore. So a big area. So we'll learn more about Tony and his work as we go through the questions today. Next to him, I'm delighted to welcome Brian Chappell. And Brian joined the Institute of Criminal Justice Studies at the University of Portsmouth as a senior lecturer in April 2011, following completion of a highly successful 30-year career with the Metropolitan Police New Scotland Yard. Now, during his career, he served as a detective at all ranks, up to the rank of Detective Chief Inspector. So that's quite an achievement, where he was a member of the senior management team within the Specialist Crime Directorate. Throughout his career, he's worked with a number of specialist departments, including national and international, those with international and national responsibilities on complex and high-level investigations. He told me not to mention this because he's a very modest man, but I'm going to embarrass him. He was awarded the MBE in 2009, so well deserved. So that's our panel. I'd like you all to welcome them this afternoon.